There we go. Right, so a breakdown of Harry Potter from someone who's never read it or watched the films. This is just from getting the lowdown off everyone else. Okay, so it starts off, there's a little boy called Harry, and his parents are dead, right? And he lives with his grandparents or uncle or someone, but they're not very nice people. And they make him go under the stairs. And then he gets beef from an owl. The owl's like giving him jip. And the owl has a letter for him. And then Harry sends the owl away. And then Hagrid comes and he's like, have you seen my owl? Then Harry's like, oh, well. And Hagrid's like, he had a letter, he had a letter for you. Harry opens up the letter and he goes, I don't understand what all this means. Then Hagrid goes, you're a wizard, Harry. That's that famous line. And then he says, get on the train in a bit. And we'll meet you there. So he goes to the train station. The station's, he's at, I don't know what station he's at. But he has to go to platform 9. And he's like, where's the station? I don't know where the station is. And then he goes a little bit further down. And he sees these people jumping through walls. So he has a go. He jumps through the wall. And then he's at Hogwarts. Oh, no. He's not at Hogwarts then. Then he's at the train. He finds this little old steam train. I remember that from the book cover. There's a little train, isn't there? Hogwarts Express. Boom. He's on that train.
First factor.
Then he meets all of his little cronies. Right? Who are, I remember this now. You got Hermione. And Ron Weasley. Yeah, Ron Weasley. And he's got a brother called John Weasley. And another one who's like a twin. No, he's got two twins, hasn't he? No, he hasn't got two twins. He's got one set of twins.
Yes.
Because 2 twins would be 4, innit? Yeah. So he's got one set of twins. Mm-hmm. Then they end up at Hogwarts. And then they get divided into schools. So you've got Gryffindor. And that's the school Harry ends up going to. Snugglepuff. Which teaches... I think they teach like illusion or something like that. Then you've got the Snaky School. And that's like the dark arts. That's like, ooh... That's by Professor Snape. I don't know who's Gryffindor, who leads Gryffindor. I think it's Dumbledore. But then he looks like the headmaster. I don't know who's like the little teacher. Perhaps I don't need a teacher. Oh, you might be Maggie Roberts. She's in it. I don't know what she does. She probably teaches Gryffindor. Then they all get divided into schools anyway. And Harry doesn't get on with one of the kids.
What's the other 2 schools?
So you've got Gryffindor, Snugglepuff.
Yeah.
The snaky one. And a badger one. I don't know what the badger one's called. But there's a badger as their little logo.
And what's it say then?
So I think Gryffindor's like general magic. The snaky one is the dark arts. Snugglepuff is like illusion. What sort of a magic is there? I don't know. It's like street magic or something. Something anyway. I don't know what sort of magic they teach. Maybe like necromancy. Like, that's the type of magic, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that would be the dark arts, wouldn't it? Necromancy. I don't know. Maybe they do. I don't know. They do something. Maybe it's like supernatural. Right. Anyway, Harry doesn't get on with one of the guys in the school, and that his name's Dracoy, and he doesn't like him. So they have a bit of a tumble and a bit of beef. Then Harry goes and gets involved in a game of Quidditch, is it called? Something like that. Quidditch. And it involves... It looks like a shit game of like baseball and broomsticks. Like, I don't know why you would play it, because if I had a broomstick, you'd do a better game than that, wouldn't you? You just have a race on a broomstick and it turn it into like baseball or something. But anyway, he has a game, and Draco is like meant to be like really good at this game, but Harry Potter wins. So he wins that, and then that's the end of book. That's probably the end of book 1.
What?
I think.
What? What about his villain, mate?
Yeah, that's book 1. Book 1, there's no introduction of the villain. It's all
What are you on
it's
about?
all about the game of Quidditch, and that's how it ends. Book 2 is when Voldemort's introduced. So, book 1 was nice and friendly. Found out he was a wizard. He had beef off an owl. Won the game of Quidditch. Book 2, this is where it starts getting interesting. So he starts finding out that his parents got bumped off by someone. But no one will say the guy's name because they're scared of his name. So he decides to visit his uncle. And his uncle is called Sirius. And he meets him. And he gets bumped off somehow. But he finds out through, just before he got bumped off, that this guy bumped off his parents and that he needs to beat him up. So he went to, what is it? What's that book? What is the second book called? Philosopher's Secret? Chamber of Secrets. So he must go to a Chamber of Secrets then, isn't it? The title's there, isn't it? So he goes down to this chamber. Is that the one with the dog?
Fluffy.
No, isn't there like a Cerberus guarding something?
Fluffy. It's a 3-headed dog.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the first one.
The first one?
Yeah.
I thought they just played Quidditch in the first one.
No, but they didn't.
Alright, so...
Anyway.
Right, so he goes into a chamber. Then what? When does he find out about the Horcrux? I know about the Horcrux.
Ages later.
So what's he doing in the second book then? He's played his game of Quidditch.
He finds his mate, doesn't he?
Sirius. I've already said about Sirius and he got bumped off. Did he get bumped off in the second book? No.
I don't even think he meets him in the second book.
God. So what is this? This is why I've never read Harry Potter, because I mean... God, so...
What do you think's in the Chamber of Secrets?
A spell.
What about what's his name? Might he be in there?
Sirius.
He who must not be named.
Voldemort. In the chain. So people. Alright, so he goes down into this room and he finds Voldemort sitting in there. And he goes, you've released me now, thank you. Is he like a genie? Sort of. Alright, so Harry's in this room and then he finds something and he accidentally, he knocks a vase over or something, and then Voldemort is freed. Oh, I think I know this part. And then, but Voldemort doesn't look like Voldemort. He looks decrepit, like, I don't know, like a bit of mist or something. And then he flies off because he's in a weakened state or something. I'm right, I know he's in a weakened state. He's not true Voldemort power yet. He's still got he's got to get all his mojo back. He's got 2 heads. He's got 2 heads. He's got his head on someone else. I'm right, I know he's got 2 heads. I remember now. I've seen that scene. All right, so Voldemort. So Harry comes across, he goes into this room and he finds a guy with two heads. But he doesn't see the back of this guy's head. He doesn't know that Voldemort's on the back of this guy's head. And he thinks he's a good guy and he helps him get out. Prisoner, he's a prisoner of Azkaban. Anyway, right. So let's move on from this part. Right. So eventually Harry finds out about these Horcruxes. And what the Horcruxes are is it's like multiple items that Harry needs to destroy to get rid of Voldemort. And Voldemort's got a little gang of cronies that follow him around. What are they called? They're called these snake bites or something like that. And the snake bites, they try and bump Harry off. And then they try and bump off a few people. And Dumbledore gets killed. Or he wants to be killed or something. And Snape, I don't think Snape did it, but everyone thinks Snape did it, or he did it for a reason, or Dumbledore and Snape agreed to it, but you don't find that out until the end. So at the moment, everyone thinks Snape's a bad guy, and he's part of this snake bite gang, who are part of Voldemort. Anyway, so Harry has to find all these little items, and he destroys them all basically. But then the shocker is he finds out that he can't actually get rid of Voldemort because the last Horcrux is actually Harry Potter. So for him to kill the thing he hates, he's got to kill himself, which is metaphorical to life in general. And then they have a showdown, and what happens? I think Harry dies or something, but then he dies long enough for Voldemort to die, but then they do like a resurrection spell on Harry Potter, and he lives, and then sort of live happily ever after. Then, don't they? That's it. That's the end.